will be making a Mxyzptlk video. But to start off, here are some solid limits to his power, since some people might just go like fanboy or something, but I hope no one's like that. But suffice to say, we know this is for certain. Manhattan should be above Mxyzptlk. Any sixth dimensional being should be above Mxyzptlk as well. And with that aside, any additional weaknesses / beings he's inferior to will be discussed during the rest of his feats and scaling. So, a weird bit of scaling. Chaos King was able to pretty badly mess with the Impossible Man, who Mxy has fought with and on par equal terms. So, it's also shown that they might be one and the same being, and we do know Marvel and DC are connected, so this is definitely possible. But if it is true, we'd have to assume either A, Mxyzptlk is around multi-eternity's level of power, or B, that this was an avatar of Mxyzptlk and that his power should be beyond multi-eternity. In order to reach just embody eternity, you have to, and the spell was said to be a threat to the reader. Doctor Strange gets power, and Doctor Strange gets to a point where like he's at the level of like the real world with his magic. Taboro is said to be a threat to Doctor Strange and the reader in the real world. Those images will be shown in my Discord server or in there. If you want to join, just ask or click the link that I may or may not provide in the description or live chat. Once again, Mxy is just verbatim below Manhattan. Like, he's way beyond Mxy. But with that, Joker with 99.9% of Mxy's power was basically using, he has the anti-life equation and is capable of using it, such as when he uses it on Darkseid. Previously, he used Mxy used his, or Joker, Emperor Joker used his power on Highfather, the Wizard, Highfather, the Wizard, and Phantom Stranger. And Ganthet. I can't remember the other guy, so someone tell me. Oh, Zeus. But all of them should be like creation level beings, or at least capable of that, like outer versal ranges. Phantom Stranger threatened all of creation in his battle with Spectre. Highfather has similarly threatened all. Highfather has affected the source and disconnected to the source. So that's pretty impressive. The Wizard Shazam should scale above Shazam, who I'm not even gonna get into Shazam's feats because Shazam's wild. But yeah, if you want a video on those on the five of them, then I'll do it. But yeah, Darkseid got folded by Emperor Joker using the anti-life equation. Not even Joker's or Emperor Joker's power itself. Him wilding out is unimagining existence like on a comic panel like level, so overvoid levels, because like that's ultimately what that page is supposed to represent. And even the pencil of the author is crumbling, which just goes to further show how Mxyzptlk has scaling to like the real world and whatnot. Once again, he clowns on Darkseid in World's Funniest, which was before the Emperor Joker stuff. His power is just way beyond Darkseid. I'm not sure if he genuinely meant this, but like he wrote down him plus Batmite equals the anti-life, and Darkseid could be laughing because either A, he got his whole planet messed up, and or B, because like that, I don't know, that's the actual anti-life equation, but either way, he did really just obliterate Darkseid and his his whole planet. Something interesting to note: there is a council of fifth dimensional imps. And basically they basically seemingly have power over Mxyzptlk and can and are superior and like force him like to stay in check sometimes. And apparently they can punish him by sending him to an eight-dimensional maze. So that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure what eight-dimensional means in context to the sixth dimension, the plane of existence of Perpetual and whatnot. But we do know that the Wonder beings, denizens of Wonderworld, are trapped an evil fifth dimensional imp within a sixth dimensional bottle. So I do believe there are dimensions beyond the fifth dimension. And they could arguably be at the same levels, or arguably beyond Perpetua's dimension / realm. Mxyzptlk destroyed the entirety of the fifth dimension, which is imagination itself. So him destroying the fifth dimension just means he can't get sent back. But of course, this is a part of a game that he plays with Superman. This is, and I'll dive into more into that and send images in my server. But in fact, Mxyzptlk has always been playing this game with Superman, and like if Mxyzptlk goes like truly evil, sinister, there's no one who can really stop him. We've seen that before, and it's really awesome. I'll go over like what if Mxyzptlk went evil if like this gets a certain amount of likes. Once again, I find the likes and subscribing and the comments to be a communication that hey, you want this and that I should dive more into it. But yeah, here Mxyzptlk's saying how if he used all of his power, he could create a portal to the sixth dimension. Mxyzptlk's basically here is lying about how he's been infusing Superman with fifth dimensional energy. But yeah, this means like to me either that Mxyzptlk can act. Whilst Mxyzptlk is below the beings of the sixth dimension itself, the sixth dimension is not out of his grasp, and he could hypothetically affect the sixth dimension, maybe, or at the very least, he can go into it. But the beings of the sixth dimension are what are above him, not necessarily the sixth dimension. And that further support Tom Manhattan is literally just said to be beyond him, like, and he'd rather like fight the story of Superman and his kid and Lois and whatnot, the trio and the power behind their story, than deal with Manhattan. So that scale shows that Manhattan is on a scale just beyond all Perpetua, really. And we know Manhattan, or the Darkest Night, with Manhattan's power, killed Perpetua. But yeah. The fifth dimension is like dying because the source wall is broken. Mixie himself seemingly is affected by this, and I don't think that's necessarily a lie. So basically, their lifeblood is imagination, and like they're either running out of it or like imagination. They are intrinsically connected to imagination, but I'm not exactly sure how to explain the relationship. But since imagination's just like running wild in all over the place, it's not really concentrated in their realm so much anymore, and it's just going too crazy for even them. So hypothetically, breaking the entire source wall, can affect the fifth dimensional imps collectively, including Mxyzptlk, which I will go over ways on how to kill Mxyzptlk in a video of its own, possibly in the What If Mxyzptlk Went Evil video, or just a third-part video entirely, because Mxyzptlk really is an interesting character that I don't think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Beings, like three-dimensional beings who go into the God sphere are viewed as flat by fifth-dimensional beings. And really, that goes into how Morrison's ideology of cosmology works. As well as just dimensions in themselves. Mixie is unilateral across all of DC. He literally interacts with the comic book pages themselves, which should mean he's affecting it out in a realm that's akin to either the overvoid itself, like he could just be out in the overvoid / source, just affecting it like that, or he is in this or he's like in the white void / realm that's left after you destroy everything beneath the limbo or the God sphere sort of deal. I'm not entirely sure which, but Mixie should be affecting the comic itself. So, arguably Overvoid, he's out in the Overvoid, but you could definitely say he's not. Could be in a realm below Limbo, but I wouldn't be sure what the name is. And right in this upper part of the comic panel, he's basically like, I can't. Hey, heck, McGurk. Even I can't, and I'm an all-powerful extra-dimensional int from the fifth dimension with God-like powers. How else? How else you How else you figure you keep getting me to say my name backwards, smart guy? And basically, this is Mixie saying he can't control every variable of, like, existence. So that implies to me, like, and, like, he says no one can control all of the variables. which is really interesting to me. Mixie could be saying how there's the story exists, right? And the story exists everywhere and whatnot. But because stories must continue on, there will be a part of the story that continues to exist and then will cause the rest of the story to change, which is why superheroes always win. It's why even when Darkseid somehow wins Dark Crisis, which I'm pretty sure he will, Superman and the gang will somehow find a way to beat him. And I feel like it's Mixie talking about like the Superman, what he represents, and how like the story of Superman is just beyond his control, and by default, Superman, like the Prime Superman is. But that's just my thoughts on what he's saying narrative wise. There is a hard limit, another hard limit to his power aside from Perpetua and Manhattan. It's just Dream of the Endless who can make him fall asleep. And Dream of the Endless can also affect Dream of the Endless. Just it's logical that he's above Mixie because he's Dream. He is literally everything reality is not. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Um, another, but another being who Mixie arguably, I'm not too sure about is Spectre. And when it's Emperor Joker, he became the Spectre. It went wacky, crazy, wild. But then again, during Dio, there was the time Spectre absorbed all magic in the multiverse. Um, and basically Mixie as well as everyone else was like depowered sort of deal. So I am not too sure where Mixie's hard limit on power is. I'd have to say he's above Spectre. I did do an Uncle Sam video recently, or it should have come out, but you should know, Uncle Spectre's wild, but Mixie should scale above him, and Dream should scale above Mixie, and it's really complicated, but suffice to say, Mixie has only two hard known limits, power wise and stuff. The story of Superman, and then just Manhattan and Perpetua's tier of power, as you can see here. Literally just World Fortune manipulating these two. This has been a great video. Kind of went deeper into narrative than I thought I would. Um, but I do like looking into the narrative of DC and stories behind it, as well as the power dynamic in there. And if you'd like to see more power scaling / narrative analysis videos, please let me know by liking the video. And if this content continues to be of your liking and desire, please subscribe. But with that, I will be going. Have a great day. And then just a side question, really. Would you guys like if I started just doing like quotes, like motivational quotes or aspirational quotes at the end of these? Just a question / thought. But yeah, with that, have a great day.